The probation service, I think, are going to be largely privatised, which is, again, everybody's disagreeing with that, because if people come out of prison and they're not supervised properly, and they're supervised by sort of companies or other organisations that are not particularly experienced in that, there's, you know, there's a lot of things.
Isn't that the exact opposite of what's being proposed with lawyers? Because you're really talking about making a public service of lawyers, as opposed to privatising another part of the supervisory area.
Well, privatisation is in many areas now, particularly the Conservatives, think that that's the way forward.
But privatisation of legal services, I mean, these are private firms, so that is a privatisation of legal services.
Oh, well, you wouldn't use them. You see, you'd only use people who wanted to be part of a, you know, private. You only get on the system if you were able to provide the lowest cost.
Oh, I see, okay.
So Eddie Stobart, the lorry people, would come along and say, we've got all of these lawyers.
Oh, I see, okay.
And you can have one of these.
So it is the rate, that's the ruling thing?
It's
how much money is allocated for that?
Exactly. Well, the government are trying to establish what is called a rehabilitation revolution. And I'm not sure that they know what that means. I think I get the impression that what they want is to save money.
Yes.
And you can't start a revolution if you don't support things that are necessary.
Right.
So if people coming in prisons with alcohol or drug problems, you've got to spend money. Yes. If you come in with can't read and write, you've got to spend money. Mental health.
Yes. Has there been an effort to try and have people who are skilled prisoners teach other prisoners some of the skills they have?
Well, yes, we have programs like that. Certainly reading is a big program in British prisons.
Yes, so you can have prison teachers, and in the same way as we were talking earlier about jailhouse lawyers, where some prisoners actually learn some legal skills, and then help other prisoners with their cases.
Yes.
Is there any attempt to try and link those people up and offer some sort of service to other prisons?
Yeah, I think it automatically happens. If you've got somebody on the landing who can read and write, well, they get lumbered with the job of writing somebody's letters. If they've got a legal problem, then we've just employed a guy called Ben Gunn. He's a regular writer, and he went into prison when he was 14. Couldn't read and write. He came out 32 years later with an MA and a BSc, and works for us now.
Great.
And
he resettled easily?
Not easily, no, not easily. But without our support, he would have been a different story. But I mention him because he's working on our Inside Justice, which is miscarriages of justice cases. And for many years, he used to look at all the files of prisoners. Prisoners came to him, and he'd sort of say, "Well, not much chance here, mate." But sometimes he was able to look at files and see, yeah, he might be able to help. So he's now in the real world where he's looking at files for us, and then we have an expert advisory panel who then explores it even more.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.